Hello, everybody, and welcome to Third Power Life. And today we're going to talk about power rituals. And what does this concept actually mean? It's going to be fun.
So, the big question is this: how are successful professionals like us going to keep increasing our business success and yet still have a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. I'm Dan Gentry, and welcome to Third Power Life Podcast.
All right, so what are power rituals? All right, now this is a concept that I've kind of taken a twist on. I've seen it in a number of different places. It's the magic of small steps. It's the slight edge by Jeff Olson. I've heard a number of different people talk about the basic concept, but I've tried to condense it into something that's actually actionable, something we can work with. And so really what it boils down to is power rituals are the habits that you have. And, I take you back many years ago, and I was constantly trying to do everything all at the same time, right? And I was never really focusing in and never really accomplishing everything that I needed to do. And, I remember reading the book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And, because I kept thinking that in order to get my life in order, right? That's what I was trying to do is, fix my life, make it not quite so crazy. That, I had to do these big, massive things of setting these giant goals, right? And that's great. We definitely want to do that. You have to have those big, audacious goals, right? But what I found was that, these giant things, they seemed too much. I just couldn't do it, right? Or I'd get started and then kind of fizzle out because it was so much to try to tackle. And I heard from Jim Rohn, from Jeff Olson and a couple other people, and it was this concept of making small steps, right? And it's little things that make a big difference. It's not the giant goals. I mean, you need those, but you've got to break it down into small, like bite-sized pieces. And so it's a little by little. The example that I like to use is, which would you rather have? Would you rather me just give you $1 million today, or give you 1 penny today, but double it every day for a month, 30 days, right? Well, it's crazy that, most people would say, well, hey, I'll take the $1 million. That's a lot more than a penny, right? But if you take the penny a day, doubled every day, the first day it's a penny, the next day it's 2 cents, then it's 4 cents, then it's 8, right? So and then 16. So at the end of the first week, you've got like 30 cents, right? It's like, I think I should have taken the $1 million, right? But then it keeps going. So so it's 16 cents, then 32 cents, then 64 cents, then $1.28, then $2.56, and then $5.12, and then $10, and then $20, and then $40, right? And by the end of the 30 days, you will have millions of dollars, right? Far more than the one that I offered you initially. But it's taking that penny and doubling and doubling and doubling. And the compound interest effect, right? We all know that if we put money in the bank and just let it go and let that interest run, then it grows much faster. Well, it's the same with our habits. It does not take, going to the gym for 10 hours, right? It doesn't work that way. It's going to the gym, for an hour, every couple of days, right? That's what makes the huge difference in our lives. So it's the little things. It's our little habits. And that's what I call your power rituals, because the rituals are the things that we do over and over again. But that's where the real power comes from, right? That's where we get our juice. That's what makes our life good. It's, you look at how do you eat, right? And if it's supposed to be an apple a day, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? It's not a chocolate bar a day or a donut a day, okay? And the thing is that eating a donut today, you don't really see much difference. Just like eating well today, you don't see much difference, right? I'm on the diet where I've lost 40 pounds so far, okay? But from the day I started, the next day and the next day, really didn't see much of a change. The next day, like 4 or 5 days, oh, look, it went down some, right? But it was gradual, and it's been gradual, right? But I've kept it up, because so many times we start off and we feel like we're depriving ourselves, and it's been a couple of days, and I'm hungry, and I'm not eating what I want, and the scale's not really showing any difference. I can do it again later, right? And we lose that momentum. But the key is to remember that you're not going to get fat because you went to McDonald's today, right? It's going to McDonald's every day for lunch that is going to do that, right? It's eating poorly every day. And so it's those little things that compound and compound and compound, and it's the compound interest of your life. And I tell people all the time, you are not standing still. You are either moving forward or you're moving backwards, right? The way that the universe works, the concept of entropy, if you're a science geek like I am, everything's kind of moving to chaos unless you're putting energy into keeping it together, right? So we have to be constantly working on our little power rituals, our little things that we're doing, right? And that's why I've got a concept called the daily power rituals. And it's my checklist that I do every day to make sure that I am keeping my life in balance, that I'm headed in the direction that I want to go, right? And there are tools that I use that I absolutely love that help keep that in check, right? And it's one of those things where, every day, have I done my meditation? Right? Have I done my reading and my, gotten inspired and gotten educated? Have I exercised or stretched? Right? Right now, I am working on getting my black belt in Tung Soo, and my test is in a month from now, in the end of April. Right? Well, I have to practice my forms every day, so that's on my list. It's something I have to do every single day, right? And, for me, and I'm going to share a tool, share the tools with you that I use in my life. And, hopefully it will be of help to you, right? And, there are a number of tools that I use for this. I've got my journal that I keep things in, but I either have a worksheet, if I want to print it out and actually write it, or I use Trello, Trello.com. Fantastic tool. I shifted to that fairly recently and really, really enjoy it. I use the free version. I don't have any connection to them whatsoever. I just like their tool. But I can show you that, actually do a little screen share here in a minute. But it's things that you do every day that make the biggest difference in the way that we live, okay? And it's just, it doesn't take giant steps. That's the biggest thing. It takes action, but it takes doing it on a consistent basis. Little things on a consistent basis. So I'm going to share with you the tools that I'm using, And hopefully it'll be of help to you. If you want to get a copy of these, because they're both freely available to you, you can go to lifetriad.com/power. That's a place where you can put in your information, and I will send you the shared Trello board, which then you can copy for yourself, and also a PDF of the Daily Power Rituals worksheet that I use on a regular basis. So let me get this set up here, and I will share my screen. For those of you who are listening on podcast, I will do my best to explain it so that you can visualize it without actually seeing it. You can also visit my YouTube channel, the Third Power Performance, for this video, or if you go to lifetriad.com/power, this will be available on the tools page as well for you to see. All right, give me just a second to get this shared. Now, this is the Trello board that I have set up for myself to be able to really make the daily power rituals something that I do every day, okay? And, so what you've got is you start with today, and it's just kind of your to-do list, all right? In general, Trello is like a project management tool. That's really what it's for, but it makes it really simple to have to-dos and keep track of all the different things that you're doing. And for me, I treat my life sort of like a project. There's a lot of project management that happens in my world. So there you go. So what I have is I've got for today, here's the stuff that I'm going to be doing today. And again, this is the shared board, so it's set to public. You can come in and make a copy of this and save it to your own account. Makes it really easy to just copy this, and then you personalize it to what's important to you. All right. If you want to message me, you can send me an email, dan@thirdpowerperformance.com. If you want to talk about how you can use this, we can get there later. But so I've got my today, and then I've kind of got my general to-do list. This is all those things. So many times we've got this stuff wrapped up in our heads, right? I've got to do this, I got to do this, I got to remember to do that. Well, just get it out and put it on this to-do list, and then you can simply drag it over and put it. Okay, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to subscribe to the Third Power Life podcast, which I think is a fantastic idea, by the way. Shameless plug, absolutely. And then, so you've got your to-do list. Now, we also have kind of our asset list, and this is where we've got our template for the daily power rituals. And also here is the PDF version if you would prefer to see that, right? You can go ahead and download that. And then you can actually see the power ritual template itself, okay? And what I've got is at the top is kind of my journal, right? And you'll see some formatting stuff. You can just click on the formatting help button here, and it will explain how those work. Pretty straightforward. You don't have to use that if you don't want to. That's just me being geeky and nerdy and all of those other things. So I start off the day talking about what am I excited about today? What am I really looking forward to with this day? What am I going to do with it, right? And so I write that out. I talk about here are the goals that I'm really going to be going after today, or I didn't sleep well, or I slept great, or whatever it is. But put kind of thought, just a thought dump onto here. I also have a spot for random thoughts during the day. There's so many times I'll get an idea, or oh, that's a good idea, and I just kind of put it in there. And then at the end of the day, I like to reflect on what have I done, what went well, what didn't go so well, right? And just, as it says, reflect on the day. Now for me, if you've gone to any of my programs, if you've read any of my stuff, the basic concept of life balance, it's all in triad, the life balance triad. So the foundation is self-mastery. The framework is your relationships, your interpersonal, and then your material prosperity, all of your stuff. So I break down my task list into those three things. For self-mastery, I'm looking at spiritual, mental, and physical. Those are the three parts of self-mastery. So I'm going to make sure that I meditate, that I write in my journal, right? That I'm reading something good, fill in my mind, and also listening to something. You know, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a YouTube video, something in the car while I'm driving, but something that's going to uplift me, right? So I get good information and inspiration. That's what I'm after. And then making sure I'm exercising and stretching. You know, right now I've also got my karate forms are in here that I need to do every single day. Straightforward. Interpersonal. Love letter. Make sure that I am reaching out and connecting with either my children, my wife, people that I love, that I'm sending just a text. Hey, how's it going? Or, check in on my daughter. Hey, how you feeling? How's life? Right? But just to make sure, because there's so many times where we get so caught up in everything that we're doing that we forget to tell the people that we love, and we love them. It's just sometimes you forget to mention it, right? So it's just that little reminder. It doesn't have to be anything major, but it's just making sure to remind yourself to connect, and connect in an honest way, right? Don't make it, okay, my computer told me to tell you I love you, so I love you. No, find a way, and it doesn't have to be a letter. It can be a phone call. It can be a message on Facebook or social media. It can be going out of your way to give a hug, right? It doesn't have to be a straight letter, right? There's a lot of other possibilities there. And then, connect and refer. This is for our friends and for our business associates. So find some way to connect with either a coworker or with a friend. If you're in business, how can you refer somebody in your work network, right? So build those relationships, and then be of service, or random act of kindness. For me, it's doing something with the Scouts, or it's holding the door for somebody, but do something that's going to make the world a better place. Simple. And then material prosperity. Do a budget check. Check your account every day, right? Get used to going in and seeing, where's my money going? How are things doing? Even if it's not a pretty picture, you need to see it. Keep it top of the mind. For me, I want to publish every day. That's what I'm doing right now, right? And so make sure, what is it for you that's going to make sure that your business, that your financial life is going to be moving forward, right? It's not going to be published for everybody. It could be, learning something new at work. It could be, taking, an online, reading up on something online that can help you become better at your job. It can be, looking at your competitors if you're in business, right? It's all of these different things. It can be anything, but improve your financial situation, your income producing situation somehow, right? And then last is, organize your environment, improve your environment, whether it's cleaning up your desk, whether it's, organizing a drawer, whether it's, cleaning up, whatever, but find some way to make your physical world a little bit better. I mean, that's my list, all right? You can make it whatever you need it to be, but what are the things that you need to do every day to make your life better? That's really what it's all about, okay? And then when things are done, just drag it over to the done bin and, okay, I'm good, right? Now, what I generally do is I will take this template, right? And I will copy. I'm going to move it to today. I like to put it at the top, right? So it's going to copy this card over here. And then I just change the date. And now I'm ready to go on a new day, okay? There are tools And if you want to get into Trello, there's some automation that you can do. On my personal board, I actually have that automatically copied over every day at midnight. So you can kind of geek out. Trello's really pretty darn cool. But there's an easy way to make that happen. The last thing that I'm going to tell you is in the reference material, I've got a couple of cards here that talk about my life triad system and my life balance triad, with links to the blog posts about those that kind of explain a little bit more in detail if you want to dive into those a little bit more. I would also love it if you would connect with me on Facebook, or Instagram, Twitter, Third Power Performance. Just search that up and we're there. We've also got, if you get this board, there's a great place here to join the Facebook group. A little shameless self-plug, absolutely. But anyway, I would love to hear from you. I would love to talk to you more about, how are you using this? If you do use this, please drop me a line and say, hey, I got this. I think it's great, or I think it's terrible. I really want to know. I mean, this is something that I'm using for myself, but I know that it could be better. So if maybe you're a Trello master, because I am still a Trello novice, and you've got, hey, what you really want to do is you want Butler to do blah, 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 right? I'd love to hear about it. So you can reach out to me, info@thirdpowerperformance.com is the email. And again, connect with me on social media. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you like the YouTube or the podcast, please give me a thumbs up. All right. Well, until next time, live your life to the third power.
If you would like to find out more about Dan Gentry and Third Power Performance, then go to www.thirdpowerperformance.com.